Yes team, how we doing? Welcome to another video. Oh, it's jumper weather, it's chilly out there, it's not very nice. I'll show you what my life looks like right now. Those poor people, poor kiddies coming back from school. Soaking they are, soaked to the bone. This video is all about living sustainably. So if you've watched a load of my other videos, I haven't done anything on sustainability before. You might be like, "Ooh, where's that come from?" But sustainability is like something I'm very passionate about. It's quite a big part of my life, and I've been like really strict with it in the past, like zero plastic or as close to that as possible. So yeah, this is all basically about the basics of how to get started in sustainability, what sustainability is all about. It's kind of like, I'm going to say 15 things. Yeah, 15 things that you can kind of get cracking on that are easy to do, including eating more plant-based, which is the first thing and arguably the most important thing, but I'll go into that in more detail. But that is the video. So, all of that said, without any further ado, we will crack on. I'll bang through them. I'll try and make this video as short as I can, and I'll bang through the 15 things. And like I say, this is just to get you started. I'll probably forget some obvious ones, but this is really just to get you started. If you've been inspired and you came across this video, you want to crack on tomorrow, these are really quick things you can do to get you started, and they're relatively easy. And then I'll do some more advanced ones in terms of further reducing your packaging and how you can do that as I kind of get more and more on the bandwagon. I'll film stuff that I do and show you how to do it, and hopefully that will inspire you to take it up a level. Okay, so welcome to the video, guys. Let's do this. Number one, and the most important thing, is eating more plant-based. Okay, so if you don't already know about, God, how can you not know the reason everything is vegan these days, and there's vegan options on every menu and all this stuff, and why the vegan movement, this is my understanding, the reason the vegan movement has become so massive, it isn't just, if you think it's just about animal rights and stuff, it absolutely isn't. It's the big kind of main reason is it's taken an upsurge is there's been certain documentaries, Cowspiracy probably being the main one on Netflix. If you haven't watched that, I strongly recommend you go check it out. And then some other follow-up documentaries about how, from a sustainability point of view and the impact on the planet, livestock agriculture, to the insane, the amount of meat we produce to feed the amount of people that want to eat meat every day, especially, and then not just every day, but like a couple of times a day, if not 3 times a day, and that being millions and billions of people around the world. Basically, the conclusion that becomes quite obvious. It was obvious to me. The logic of it was just almost undeniable. I don't really know how you can argue it. Is there just isn't the space on this planet to raise that many animals? And for 2 reasons. One, because an animal to kind of be raised healthy and well, for a cow, instead of a cow being locked in a tiny little cage and never moving, or it being in a tiny little space, which is what they have to do to produce it en masse, so you end up with terrible quality of meat and just that animal leading a horrible life and it getting sick and it having to be pumped with antibiotics, which is horrible. And then also fed, then they just pour, corn and soy, and they just feed it corn and soy, which cows are meant to eat that. They don't want to eat that. But if a cow was meant to be grass-fed, or if it was grass-fed, it would need I really don't know the exact statistics. Again, I'll do another video where I'll do the research and properly this. But it's something like a football pitch. It's a big area, or half a football pitch, or something like that a cow needs to roam and graze and be healthy and be raised properly. So, and if you think every cow that is produced and used and killed to make the incredible amount of meat we use, I'm only talking about beef. I'm not, that's not even including pigs and chickens and stuff. But that is that's an incredible amount of space. We'd have to flatten all the rainforest. We'd have to flatten most of the cities. You'd have to flatten incredible acres and acres and acres, hundreds of thousands of acres, if not millions of acres of land, that is the main reason. Well, and then it's the methane they release, so which is, that is like cow farts. So all the methane they release is very toxic. It's even more toxic than, I believe, CO2 for the atmosphere. So that massively adds to global warming. And then there is all the waste they produce, so all the feces and stuff, all their shit basically, just gets, in a lot of cases, it's not dealt with properly, and it gets pumped into waterways, rivers, and ends up in the sea, causing dead zones and kills loads of fish. And then the other massive thing, which I didn't even think about, was, like I was saying earlier, was the soy and corn. So huge amounts of rainforest and huge amounts of land is used simply to grow corn and soy to be fed to animals. Okay, and that is, that's land that should be, absorbing carbon dioxide. The Amazon rainforest, massive. The biggest, I think, contributor to absorbing carbon dioxide to counteract the balance of what humans are pumping into it, gets leveled because we have to grow acres and acres and hundreds of thousands of tons of corn and soy. So what I'm trying to do now is Monday to Friday, not counting Friday evening if I'm completely honest, because I treat myself to like a steak or something, but Monday, most of Friday, I'm plant-based, so I just don't consume animal products, as few as possible during Monday to Friday, and then I fill my boots over the weekend. So that's where I'd start, but I've already blabbed on for 15 minutes, and I want this video to be as concise as possible. So all these other things are kind of to reduce plastics. So with that said, plant-based, whole thing done. That's by far, that's number one, and then everything else is probably like a bit of a, I wouldn't say a distant two, but like less of a priority. If you're going to start somewhere, then start on, reducing your animal product intake, which, maybe if you just do start with 1 day, see if you can get to like it, try 2 days, try 3 days, try and just end up doing as many days as you can whilst you get used to it. You don't need to force it. You don't need to don't go away, watch Cowspiracy, freak out, and then be like, oh my god, I'm never eating another, animal product again. You won't. Now, reducing waste and all that kind of stuff. Really obvious things. So that's number one. So number two, I've just got to strike them off my list here. Number two, really simple one, really easy. Most people do this, but a water bottle, yeah? Just carry a water bottle around with you as much as you can, as often as you can, and then refill it whenever you can. There we go, bosh, one done out of the way. The other thing I would say is if you're out, you're not always going to be able to carry a water bottle around with you. So what I would strongly recommend is look for what is about a lot at the moment is cans, yeah? So the other thing to remember is aluminium is like the best, the most recyclable. People don't know this, but aluminium is the most recyclable material, like substrate, by a mile. Like aluminium's here, everything else, plastic, stainless steel, everything is a distant second. Yeah, aluminium can be recycled many times. I think indefinitely. As far as I know, it's indefinitely. You can just keep recycling aluminium, and also I think because it is easy and simple to recycle, the infrastructure is much better for aluminium. So as in, it's the companies that do the recycling, it's a lot easier for them to recycle aluminium than it is anything else. So look for aluminium. So you can get water, you can get sparkling water in cans now. I believe there's like, there's a white can with a little plastic top so you can reseal it. They've got a black one, which is a sparkling one. If you can't see them, and then you can't see any other type of can that has water in it, try it. There's loads of kind of very healthy, minimal ingredients. There's even one that uses like wonky veg, and it's just like squeezed juice and literally water and sparkling water, and there's loads of different brands out there. Next one, very similar. Keep Cup, they're everywhere now. Just get one you like, that's convenient, that's easy. Costa even do some fold down ones. So one awesome thing to get is a set of cutlery. So this one is Black and Bloom. So I'm sure if you go on their website, it'd be like really easy to find. The reason I got the Black and Bloom one, this awesome one, is because what you'll find, a lot of what I found was that they'll do the cutlery, but it won't be in a, they won't have a plastic container to carry it around in. In my view, that's ridiculous and completely useless. I suppose you could use like a little sandwich bag, but it's just not neat and tidy like that, is it? Because obviously you're going to use these and they're going to get dirty and messy, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to have messy cutlery dirty covered in, I don't know, dressings or sauces or whatever, and just chuck it in my bag. That would be freaking gross. So next one, vegetable bags. So I got these ones in Sainsbury's, but Waitrose are doing bags now, like muslin ones that are washable, and they're really just, you know, go on Amazon and just type, you know, muslin vegetable bags, all this kind of stuff. They're really easy to get now, very widely available. Any health food shops will definitely have them. So yeah, all you do, I mean, dirt simple, guys. You just make sure you keep these on. You keep these in your backpack. Maybe then you just pull these out before you go to shopping centre, supermarket, and then always get the loose veg and then put them in these bad boys. Really ploughing through something very similar. So carrier bags, I find the best thing to do is try to always have a really like strong one like this one, because what I find a lot is you know, if I end up getting some heavy stuff like a couple of milks and some other bits that are heavy, you know, you need a bag like this, otherwise you end up being like, oh crap, I need more bags, because I can't always use my backpack because it's for the gym stuff. So an industrial, like proper heavy bag is really handy. If you don't have space for a bag that big or anything like that, I would go to Waitrose. I'm sure you can get these in other places. I'm sure you could just Google them, like you know, fold down carrier bags. But Waitrose, you can just walk into a Waitrose and get a pocket of my jacket and stuff, and I don't even notice it's there. And then if you just want to pop in a Tesco Express because you've got a few bits, you know, on your way home, you've still got a bag and you don't have to use bags in the store. So that's a good first lot. So I will go and gather the next set of things and be right back in the next. Yes guys, so welcome back and do another cluster of these. So yeah, steaming right in. One is you getting a metal razor. So for all you guys out there, so obviously way better than using disposables, but you know, I don't think that many guys out there use disposables, or girls. I think it's pretty rare people use disposables these days. But if you use disposables, yeah, that's terrible. Like, I mean, I'd really try to move away from them. But then, you know, even if you use the ones where, you know, you keep reusing the handle, but you just pop off, you know, the head, a lot of that is plastic, you know, very little, that's metal, just the blades. So this is a whole one piece. And I got this, you know, this is, I think, Wilkinson sword, and I got this from Boots. So, you know, it's a little bit more expensive, but, you know, you only have to buy the handle and the head once, and then you probably be able to keep that for life. I've had this a while now, probably about a year, and it's done really well. All you do is unscrew the bottom, and then inside is a metal razor blade. And yeah, they sell the razor blades as well in Boots, so really easy to get hold of. And then all you do is screw that down, screw it really tight, shave yourself, and it really shaves well. I would say way better than like the plastic ones. I think there's something about the durability or the sturdiness, and those razor blades are insanely sharp. And then you get this little cup. Annoyingly, you know, it comes in this little plastic container, so if I find another source for razor blades, which I'm sure there'll be one, I'm sure that'll be relatively easy to find. I just grabbed these in Boots because it was convenient. But yeah, you just get you know, it's just a little bit of tissue paper, and then yeah, you just have your razor blade, which is amazing. So shampoo or shower bars. Now this is a shampoo bar from Lush. So I'll probably just talk about Lush in general as a great option, right? If you're not using Lush, especially as I don't think guys think to use them, Lush are amazing, yeah. So if you care about sustainability, Lush is the way forward. This is a shampoo bar because I have a bit of dandruff, so I asked them what's good for dandruff, because none of their shampoos, liquid shampoos, are really focused on it. So this is a shampoo bar. Obviously they specialise in soap bars, there's tons there. but this is, I only use it for my hair. And I actually moved back to having a liquid shower gel. And obviously, so the point of that is like obviously no packaging whatsoever. You can just go back and keep getting them. But I really liked having a liquid shower gel. The great thing about Lush is, and I double checked this with, in a couple of stores, is you can take your bottle back and they will then send even the translucent ones there. Because I found quite a few problems with using a shampoo bar. It made my bath an absolute state, like loads of soap scum. Because with my hair, I probably wash my hair twice a week, whereas obviously I'm using a soap for my body or a shower gel every day, sometimes twice a day if I go running and stuff. So that's getting used a lot. So it either makes my bath an absolute state, because I think with soap, when it just rehardens, it just attaches to your bath and creates that horrible scum. So I really wanted to get away from that if I could, and Lush are a great option to take back. So shampoo bars, I think, are a really good option, or just move over to bars if that's your preference. But if you still want to use shower gels and stuff, if you love shower gels, which I can completely understand, then at least start looking in Lush. And I think their stuff is a bit more expensive, but I find it lasts way longer because it's so good, and they use way more natural ingredients and less chemicals and stuff. They're just really great, and there's quite a lot of stuff online about what they do, how closed loop they are and how sustainable they are. They're just like a really great company, and I think they're the way forward in terms of supporting them. And one other thing that they do, they do tablets for toothpaste. And again, so they come in a plastic container, but you can then obviously take that plastic container back, and then all you do is you take the tablet, crunch it up in your mouth, add some water, and then that basically turns into a paste that you then brush your teeth with. So I've got a tube that I'm using up at the moment, like a more natural toothpaste, but as soon as that's done, I'm going to get a load of the toothpaste tablets from Lush, and then start using them. And then another way of doing that is with mouthwash, is with this company. So I'll try and get out of the way, sort of focus on that. So they're called Geo Organics. So they're really good. So if you go to any health food shops, As Nature Intended, I think they've got some stuff in Holland and Barrett even now. But this company do a load of stuff that is really, really good, really natural and sustainable. So it all comes in glass and like an aluminium top, so highly recyclable materials. So you just have these tablets. So you just pop 1 or 2 tablets in a bit of water, whiz them around, they just fizz up and they turn into like this green liquid that is basically like a really good mouthwash. So if you always use mouthwash and you want a sustainable alternative, Geo Organics mouthwash tablets is a great option, and there's quite a few other options out there now as well. Geo Organics also do a version of what I'm about to show you next. I don't have theirs, I have the Humble Co, and that is cotton swabs. So I got these. They start doing them in Boots now, and you can get in health food shops, and I think Holland and Barrett I think stock these now. So they're made from much more natural materials, so it's just card packaging. I find bloody Superdrug and Boots are terrible. Their bloody cotton swabs are in hard, rigid plastic containers that there's no way you're recycling that. That's just going to land. It's terrible. This is just card packaging, so easy to recycle, and they're absolutely packed. Look at that, packed to the bloody rafters, with cotton swabs that are made from bamboo as well. So bamboo is more sustainable because it's super fast growing. So you don't have to flatten loads of forests. Moving on to the next one, I'll put a link in the description, but this is a company called Who Gives a Crap. And one thing that that produces tons and tons of plastic waste is the you know, the bags that your toilet roll comes in, you know, and that's not recyclable. Yeah, so that just goes straight into landfill, and it's just another piece of plastic in the waste stream that we don't want. Who gives a crap? So you go on their website, you sign up, they basically send you in a card box with no plastic on it whatsoever, just a simple card box, a massive box of toilet rolls, yeah? Like, you get something crazy, it's at least 50, if not more. And now I got a box like, oh, I swear a year ago. I swear to God it was a year ago, because yeah, it was around about, no, I'm lying, it might not have been a year ago, but it's close, honest to God, it's close, like 8 to 10 months, and I've still got loads, so I've still got like 10. So they give you 50. I live on my own, so if you've got a family, it's probably going to last for 6 months or whatever. But still, they will ask you, you know, how often you need a delivery, and it will just get delivered to your home. And it's literally just it's just wrapped in paper, and then it's all the actual toilet roll is from recycled sources. So one other thing, this is a bit of a random example. So this is shaving gel because I ran out. Now the thing is, I tried to get I made sure I got an aluminium bottle, which is the kind of the best you can do, but this is still really bad, guys. Yeah, this has still got a plastic top that's not going to be recyclable, plastic lid not going to be recyclable. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed with myself for getting this, but if you've got no other options, try and get at least get a can or a container that's aluminium, yeah, because that at least be recyclable. So I'd like to think at least a majority of this packaging, product packaging, will be recyclable, but we'll see. So, but what I'm going to do once this has run out, which will probably be ages because I don't shave that much, but what I will do is the best thing to do is you can get like containers. And I've seen a bamboo one. I think it is, what's these guys? I think it's Bulldog as well. So it's a bamboo container, and then it's got like what looks like a soap bar, and then you get the little brush. I think they do the brush as well. And then you swirl the brush and then put that on your face. That is by far the best option. I'm sure there's even better options on proper like sustainability marketplace. So I'm going to get the next set of items, and that'll be the last lot, and then we will wrap up. See you in the next clip, guys. Welcome back. So, last instalment. So yeah, and then I'll let you go. I promise that'll be the end. One other thing in terms of cosmetics and stuff, I'll get it the right way, even though it's still backward. So this is Nivea for Men, and this is in just like a pressed aluminium container. So this is like really good, and you get loads in there. You get 150 ml. So this is like everywhere in boots and all over the place. So that, you know, if you moisturise and you're using plastic, I strongly recommend you move to that. Nivea is really good, like it's quite dense, so it'll last you a while. And then I think the final thing, because I believe we are there. Oh no, one thing I've forgotten is these. So what are these? I hear you cry. So you can get these in Morrison's. I'm sure it's the same company that makes them, Morrison's and Waitrose, but they're just like their compostable bags. Now, there's a big issue and debate and stuff with compostable plastics, and I completely understand it, okay? Now, really roughly, I'll probably have to do a separate video on this as well, because it's a bit of a topic, right? So the thing is, these are made from like a more natural, you know, it's derived from plants, it's PLA, and it does break down. So if you leave it in a compostable environment, and this is the same with Waitrose, their fruit and veg bags, they say, are now compostable, because Waitrose clearly know what they're talking about. They've made sure to put home composting. Now the reason they've done that, and the reason why a lot of people might say that I shouldn't recommend using these and that you shouldn't use these, is because for a PLL plastic to break down, it needs to be in an anaerobic. All that means is where oxygen is present and like passing through it, or you know, or just air, but I'm sure it needs to be oxygen. I'm really not 100% sure of the science. So, but briefly, it needs to have air passing through it. So it's not just compostable, it also, I believe, you need to have like a wormery. So, and what worms do in the earth, and on what a composting, a good composting, a proper composting environment does is, because there will be gaps and air will pass through it, that is what breaks down. So if there's no air, if it's like sealed, it's the same principle as the last thing I talk about, a sealed Tupperware box. The reason a sealed Tupperware box is good, to keep things fresh is because of the seal, yeah. So the silicone edges and where it locks down, that creates an air seal, because air is what breaks down the matter, the vegetation. The organic matter is broken down by the air and the bacteria in the air, or the fact that just air is passing through it. Again, I'm not 100% sure what the process is, but that's what happens. So, trouble is with landfill sites, a long time ago, because all the crap that was being dumped into a landfill before they were sealed was going into the earth and causing a lot of problems, and into the water table and all this toxicity. You think they were dumping like batteries in there and stuff, and all that acid and just horrible chemicals and stuff were leaching into the water table. Now, landfill sites have to be sealed, like 100% sealed. So basically, there's no air in there, so they have this like membrane that is like airtight or watertight, and then they seal the top as well, so it's completely sealed. So nothing leaches out, but at the same time, nothing can break down. So if you think landfill sites were bad enough because all the stuff in there, all the plastic and whatnot, isn't going to break down, that is absolutely that's true times 100, because it's in a sealed environment. I think what I'm trying to say is, the more we use these, the cheaper, using PLAs will get, and the more common using PLAs will get, and then you end up with all of the plastic, or a vast majority of plastic, where it can, being, the plastic that's used is a substrate. Now, you could argue that actually you should use the PP because it's more recyclable, but the thing is, plastics are just not that great for recycling anyway, especially when you compare it to aluminium. So I guess what I'm saying is, I think PLA is a good option, so I do use these compostable bags, and I think they're good, so I still use them, and I still just think using that is better than using an outright plastic bag, because it will degrade a bit at least, and it will degrade way better and more naturally than its fully plastic oil-based counterpart. End of the day, that's derived from plants, like a starchy, I believe it's like the kind of starch they create, that's derived from plants. And if I use a plastic one, that's derived from oil and chemicals and all kinds of horrible crap. So I still think it is a good idea to use these, and it's better to use these, and I think everyone should use them as opposed to just using plastic. So if that is my view, I'm sure I'll probably launch some kind of debate in the comments and someone will correct me, but I'm happy to be educated. That is kind of the point of YouTube, right, and sharing all this stuff. Great stuff. So final thing, absolute final thing, and the ranting will be over, you'll be glad to know, is Tupperware boxes. So not just to, keep your own food in, and this is a heavy glass one, so obviously don't, you can go to extremes, have a super light one, just like a Chinese takeaway box. Don't throw these away, keep these, because this is a little bit of like an advanced thing. So once you've maybe done everything else, the next step to where there's tons and tons of plastic waste is where you buy fish and meat. That's tons and tons of plastic waste. So I would say, what I've done in the past, not often, and I need to do it more. I'm definitely going to get in the bandwagon of doing it. And the only thing that put me off is, thinking you'll get a weird reaction, but actually the people behind the counter are fine, because what I am saying to do is basically taking a Tupperware box like this, go to the meat, cheese, fish counter, and just say, would it be okay if you could just pop what I've ordered in this box rather than in a plastic bag, and then you avoid, vacuum sealed plastic containers that you get, your meat. And I use tons of it at the weekend, because I treat myself at the weekend to, after I've trained hard and been plant-based all week, I have a borderline unhealthy amount of steak, because I love steak. I have a huge weakness for it. I adore it. It's my thing. So yeah, I use, plenty of plastic waste that comes out of my flat from steak packaging at the weekends, which is not good, and I want to address it. So going forward, I want to go to the counter, order, nice big thick cuts of steak, and get them to just whack them in a Tupperware box. Now obviously a big glass one like this, cumbersome to carry around. I need to get some like bigger plastic ones. These are really good for if you want to, you know, cook at home and then reheat and seal them and stuff. So it's more for like my batch cooking type stuff. But yeah, you know, just versions like this, really good. Take to the counter, ask them to put your cheese and your meat and your fish in there, and you'll be good to go. So that is it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up there. That even though I wanted to make it short, it still ended up being really quite long. But I wanted to kind of get it all out, my initial, you know, guide to living sustainably, just to get the ball rolling, if you will. So hope that was good. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope that was informative. I know it wasn't, you know, wasn't really in any way probably entertaining or amusing, because I was just trying to condense as much information into a short period of time as I could, and I hope I achieved that. I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave comments, interact, and thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.